I'm your host, Annie Bowles, and this is News du Jour. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the News du Jour, a calmer space to consume the news. So today I wanted to start off with an update to an episode, or a story, that we covered in yesterday's episode. So I wanted to let you guys know that 2 people died and 12 more were injured in the Northern California earthquake that we discussed yesterday. And the reason I wanted to start with this is because it was not announced yet when I recorded our episode last night, so I apologize for the delay in the stats here, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that there were 2 deaths associated with the incident and 12 injuries. So our thoughts go out to all those affected by this tragic event. And then first up for today, we have to discuss Trump's tax returns. So yesterday, a House panel voted to release Trump's tax returns to the general public, which is typical for all presidents to do, but it's not required. And Trump is one of the very few, if not the only one, who has not released them. So this panel released 6 years worth of tax returns, and it will likely take some time for news outlets and journalists and legal teams to parse through all the details in those documents and glean whatever information Trump was keeping so close to the chest. That said, it is clear from their initial glance that the former president paid no federal income taxes in the year 2020, and the IRS is actually required to audit any sitting president during their time in office to make sure that everything's on the up and up. This is actually a Nixon era law. So why they didn't, I don't know. Nobody seems to know, but that is definitely something that will be looked into, and why he hadn't paid will also be looked into as well, I would think. So from what I've seen since I, researched this episode, though, there are a number of years that he didn't pay any federal income taxes. So they're definitely going to look to get to the bottom of this. And I'm not sure, there's probably several governing bodies who are interested in this. But if we get any more answers on any of those lingering questions, or if new info comes to light, we will definitely keep you guys in the loop. And next up for today, electric mail trucks. So the U.S. Postal Service has announced that it will spend about $10 billion to create an electric truck fleet that will service homes across the nation. The fleet will be made up of 66,000 battery-powered mail trucks. This plan will be rolled out by 2028. The move had actually met some resistance from the leader of the Postal Service, Louis DeJoy, but once he was sued for trying to replace the old trucks with new gasoline-powered ones, they shifted their decision and asked Congress for more funding to go electric. It's important to note that while electric vehicles currently do cost more to buy up front, they can often make up for that cost when it comes to fuel and maintenance costs. It sounds like at the end of the day, DeJoy is kind of a dollars and cents kind of dude, and as long as the post office is covering their costs, he doesn't seem to care, but that's just my own personal analysis. Very exciting though. And next up for today, Elon Musk is stepping down as CEO of Twitter after a very short-lived, tumultuous reign as the platform's leader. So Elon Musk announced on Tuesday that he will be stepping down as the CEO of Twitter based off of a poll that he put on his Twitter page. Guys, it's just literally like I could never predict what this man is going to do next. He said he will begin looking for, quote, somebody foolish enough, end quote, to take his place. Woof. But he plans to stay on with the company to run a few teams behind the scenes, software and server teams. So he currently claims that the company is set to break even next year as he has made a ton of cost-cutting measures. As we've mentioned before, Tesla stocks have really plummeted, and that is largely because the company's shareholders and leadership feel that Musk may be too distracted right now. Oh, I don't know, running another huge company to run Tesla efficiently. So will him stepping down as CEO help those stocks to bounce back? Potentially, but it sounds like he's still going to be very heavily involved over at Twitter, just knowing the type of person he is. I know he'll only be running those two teams, but it just seems like he's someone who's going to be sticking his head in other meetings. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. He's definitely in a bit of a corner right now, so maybe this will help him claw his way out. We'll see. And the next up for today, Zelensky's surprise trip. So President Zelensky of Ukraine arrived in D.C. yesterday for a very unexpected visit. He came with his wife, who greeted the First Lady with huge flowers. Biden said in a joint speech, quote, "We understand in our bones that Ukraine's fight is part of something bigger. You will never stand alone," end quote. We are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Few really expected the war to last this long. Some people didn't even think it was going to happen in the first place, thinking Russia, though, would just easily take over Ukraine with minimal effort, but they haven't. The underdog is putting up a fierce fight with the rest of the world backing them up. Zelensky presented President Biden with a Ukrainian Cross for military merit. According to President Zelensky, when he gave this award to a captain in the Ukrainian military who had earned it, he asked President Zelensky to instead pass it along to Biden, saying, quote, "He will understand," end quote. Biden said that the medal was, quote, undeserved, end quote, on his end, but he said that it was a, quote, great honor, end quote. He then asked for the captain's name so that he could send him an American military honor in return. Zelensky is expected to address Congress at 7:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So that's actually after I'm writing this. I'm probably recording this in the middle of his speech now, around 8 o'clock at night. So we'll be sure to cover what, that speech entailed on tomorrow's episode, especially if there's anything particularly of note. And that is the news du jour. Today, I wanted to leave you guys with the quote, "War is a symptom of man's failure." If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use to listen. A rate and review or shout out on social media would mean the world to us and help us be able to keep creating the news du jour. But the best way to support all of our work is to become a patron at www.patreon.com/sugarfreemedia. You can also follow us on social media under sugarfreemedia.co on Instagram and just sugarfreemedia, all one word, on TikTok. We appreciate you listening and look forward to telling you about the news again next time on News du Jour.
Broadcasting from Oklahoma.